Alright, in today's video I'm going to go through just carrying out some maintenance on my filter system. So I'm going to go through cleaning out each chamber and sort of the usual maintenance that I carry out once a week. And as well as that, I'm going to clean out my bottom drain. So I'm actually going to take the drain out of the pond, which is one of the kind of big advantages of having a retrofitted bottom drain. So yeah, I'm going to do all that, but first let me show you what progress I've made with the bog filter. So as you can see, I've got some elephant ears growing in there, and what I've done is I've got myself just one of these big plastic containers. I think this is like 150 litres, and then I've got two mesh shopping baskets. I've sat them in. They're sitting up on a block at the bottom. Filled them up with expanded clay, and I've planted them up, and basically the water is pumped through the chamber and back into the pond. So I've had this set up for about 2 weeks now, and it's been running really well. The plants are growing really fast, and I've noticed a reduction in my nitrates, which is fantastic. This whole standing setup, this is a bit temporary. I'm gonna make this look pretty later on, but I just wanted to make sure everything was running right first, and I was sort of happy with the system. So yeah, that's been good. Now what you see here, this is part of what's going to become my skimmer, which I've almost finished. Just waiting on a couple of little bits. That's the head for it. And yeah, just waiting on a couple of little bits to finish that. But I've actually got a little submersible pump inside that. It's only like a 750 litre per hour pump, but it's plenty of flow just to keep a trickle of water flowing through this bed. So yeah, what will eventually happen is the water that is skimmed off the surface will go through here, get pumped through the plant filter, and back to the pond. I'm going to do a separate video on this skimmer and bog filter when I get everything sort of set up and running how I want it. But yeah, so let me see, the water flows into the bog filter, around, and actually flows back along the aquaponic bed or aquaponic pipe, and then back into the vortex. I came back to the vortex just because it was easy. It was the simplest thing to do, and yeah, works pretty good. So yeah, I've been happy with that, and like I said, I've just at this stage I've just got to kind of make it look nice and whatever else. But yeah, that's it for the bog filter. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to set this camera up here, and I'm going to actually get in there and lift out the bottom drain. There we go. Alright, so now that I've got the drain out of the pond, I'm going to take it to pieces just to clean it. And because I didn't glue anything, these all just pull apart and breaks down into smaller pieces. Now, taking the drain out of the pond, that's not something I do every week. It's kind of a once a month job. What I usually do to clean the bottom drain is I purge it, and the way I do that is just knock off the valve from the water going into the vortex and let the pump draw down the level in the vortex, and then open that gate valve again. And what that does is the difference in water levels just creates a flow of pressure, and that cleans out the pipework. Now that does a good job of removing any algae or kind of stuff that builds up inside the pipework. But it does not remove, I'll just see if you can see this on camera. If you have a look in here, we've got this sort of fly larvae that builds up inside the pipework. And yeah, every so often, once a month or whatever, I just get in and scrub that off. Let me just take this off and show you how bad it is. So yeah, you can see it's really really covered in that fly larvae. I'm not really sure what it is, to be honest, but I am surprised just how much it can restrict the flow of water if you let it get too bad. So what I'll do now is I'll get the hose and blast the inside of this, and I've also got an oil filter brush that I'm just going to use to scrub each of the pipes, and we'll get these cleaned up and back into the pond. There we go, nice clean pipes, which should help keep water flowing nicely. But check this out, these are, you can actually see these things moving around. That's all the larvae or insects that were stuck to the inside of the pipework. I've been told it's kind of a sign of a healthy ecosystem, but yeah, like I said, they kind of, when they build up really bad, they actually restrict or slow the flow of water. So yeah, I just like to keep on top of them, really. Right, I'm going to get this pipework back together and back in the pond. Alright, I'm gonna crack on with cleaning the filter. So the first thing I'm gonna look at is the vortex. I'll do a flush on that, and then we'll clean out the brushes and whatnot. Right, on the bottom of the vortex I've got this big valve here. It's a 50mm valve that goes to basically the bottom of the drum. And yeah, I'm gonna open up that and just flush out any crap. I usually, there's not going to be much crap at the end of this, because this is something I do every day. I usually fill up the watering can from the dirty water and just water the plants, and that's, yeah, rather than filling it up from the tap, that's something I do pretty much every day, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm just going to pop a bucket in here, open up that valve, yep, and just once it flows clean, shut off the valve. Yep. Alright, that gets all that muck out of there. I do occasionally get a stick and just stir up any stuff that settles at the bottom, but I find by emptying it a little bit every day, it keeps it pretty clean. Alright, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to shut off the flow of water coming into the filter system, and I'm going to shut off the flow of water coming out of the vortex as well. Now the feed from the bottom drain is easy, I've got a valve on that. Unfortunately I haven't got a valve on this pipe, so what I've got instead is one of these cheap pipe caps. And what I'll do is I'll just, let's see if we can see this, I'm going to pop that on top of the takeoff pipe. There we go, and that'll stop any water flowing in there. I'm going to shut off the vortex. And once I've pumped a little bit of water out of this, I'm going to knock off the pump feed, which is that one there. Alright, next up is the brush box. Yeah, I've got a little valve on this one as well. So what I'm really going to do is just shake up the brushes, open up the valve, and then dump the water into this little kiddie swim pool that I've got here. Alright, I've just set the camera up on a tripod. So the next thing I'll do, I'm going to shake up the brushes just to loosen up all that dirt. And then open the valve. Now that removes the majority of the muck. If I'm feeling really generous, I'll just give them a blast of a hose to get any of those last bit of dirt and crap off. Right, that's that chamber empty now, so I'm just going to close off that valve. And as you can see, we've cleaned out a lot of crap. That's kind of 1 week's worth of muck from the filter brushes. And just to get any remaining muck off, I'm just going to take a garden hose and blast that last bit of crap off the brushes. Nothing fancy. Right, that's pretty much it for cleaning out the filters. What I'll do now is I'm going to take off that pipe cap that I put on earlier. Take it off. Just let some water flow back into the brush box. Into the filter. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All that's left to do now is top up the water level in the pond and she's done. Okay, I'm just topping back up the water level now. This is regular tap water. I do not have a dechlorinating filter. I do have some dechlorinating solution if I have to do a big water change, but I find that anything 10% or less, I've never ever had an issue with using tap water. I do set up the hose so that it sort of skips across the top of the water and generates a bit of oxygen. Maybe that helps burn off some of the chlorine, but yeah, to be honest, with small water top-ups and changes, I've never ever had an issue. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the filter maintenance. It's pretty quick and easy. Some people think there's heaps of maintenance with brushes. but to be honest, it's sort of a 10-minute job once a week. Doesn't really bother me. And yeah, that's it for now. Like I said, I'm going to put some videos up on the skimmer and bog and whatnot. So yeah, until next time, thank you.